like.
Can we do a I'm not joking. You're gonna think I'm joking. I'm not joking. Can we do a shirt with my face on it? If we had 2 shirts, one with my face and then one with Greg's face, and then we have a competition to see who sells more.
What about on like some toilet paper?
Tracey gonna knock you out. I want attention. Look at me, everybody. Attention, everybody look here. Look at me, everybody. Nobody's looking. I am demanding today. I'm very demanding today. Talk. What's this? Look up this item number. I want this, I want that. Look at me. Very good, Greg. I honestly thought you did this because I can't see. I thought you went like, I'm number 1. I was like, thanks, bro. And Stephanie was basically saying techs are actually having this issue. It's a real issue. Doing the same thing with the same clientele for a long period of time. What causes burnout on that level in the salon? Like, how do you get there? I mean, if you're doing well and you have a full clientele, why would you burn out?
You're doing kind of similar, especially like when I was doing fringes all the time, I was totally burnt out. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, you just want to lose your mind. And then if you are dealing with kind of like what we were talking about earlier, clientele that maybe is challenging.
If a client is really challenging, isn't that somebody you're going to try to get off your books?
Yes, but a lot of people are not comfortable with doing that. That's why we try to teach it all the time of how to fire a client.
Yeah.
If a client is making you miserable, you see them on your books at 8 a.m. and they're not till 3, but it ruins your whole day. It's time to move on. But a lot of people don't know how to do that. So they hit the wall, and sometimes it causes people to quit doing nails.
You've been doing nails how long, Steph? Okay, 10, 11 years. I mean, you're still young, but you've experienced that feeling of burnout. That's kind of shocking to me. It's like, dude, you're young. You've got a full clientele and career. Like, how do you deal with that? What did you do?
I experienced it mostly. I mean, like you said, sometimes you do get a lot of repetitive sets, which kind of gets boring as far as your artistic side. Especially, thank you, Pinterest. Everybody comes in and you'll have the same design 5 times in a day, and you're like, cool, you know? So there's that factor. And then also sometimes you get frustrated, not necessarily by a client's personality, but like I had a scenario where I had a client that would come in and was just like, I don't know, they all came off, they all picked up, they're lifting every time. And I started to get discouraged on myself. Like I was like, is it my work? Like, am I not doing well? And I'm a very competitive person. So if I'm not doing well, I don't want to play.
Yeah.
So like I felt like, and sometimes we start to second guess ourselves. Is it us that's making, that is doing poor work? Or is it maybe this client saying, I don't know what's going on? And, I was like, I think you do. You look a little
As
hungry.
it's in their mouth.
Yeah. So I think that's really common. I think, and especially even so if you're newer and starting out, and you are having these problems, they're coming back and, oh, they broke or they chipped or I can't keep my gel polish on. That's frustrating. Like it doesn't feel like you're doing a good job. And so that was really what my biggest thing was. And then I just kind of took a step back and started reevaluating, okay, I have 50 clients and one is having all these problems. Maybe I do know what I'm talking about. Maybe there's something going on. And then another time where I felt like I was starting to get burnt out, when I started charging for my art and for what I was giving away for free, because you're in salon and they're your clients or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's just a glitter, it's fine, it's $3 or $5, it's cool. It's a lot. And so once I started charging for all of the additives, I felt better about it because I was making good money. And I think that a lot of the time you don't realize that even if it's not hurting you, you do feel a little more confident and a little better when you're making kind of.
Well, anytime if you're giving, it's like in just even any relationship, right? When you give, and somebody, you don't feel like somebody's appreciating, you get resentful, and it starts to weigh on you. So
from the money and the complaint.
everything
Both.
across the board. Whereas, so in that case, that makes sense. Like if all of a sudden you start charging, those feelings of resentment are gonna go away. It's like, she doesn't even appreciate that I'm giving her this glitter for free.
Right.
That's gonna go away.
Right.
You can't get mad at someone for not
100%.
paying you for it when you told them it's free.
Yeah, and I
Correct.
really don't think that I was making those connections.
In general, I don't think people make those connections, right? But when you start, like you said, when you start charging, when you start see the money start to come in, I think that's gonna start to kill a little bit of that burnout when you're making more money, because you're actually getting paid for what you're doing, correct?
100%. For me, I've talked to you about this. For me, there was a long period of time where I wasn't charging all of the individual things that I needed to. And then Tracey gave me your analogy, and I was like, oh, you're right. And literally, I started charging, at some points, it would be $1 to $2. And so it would be like, okay, what's my total? And I'm like, oh, 46. That's a weird number. You know what I mean? Usually it would just be like, cool, 45. No, the $1, the $2, they make a difference. And then on the tech side, I'm like, oh, it's just another gel polish color. I would have polished that one anyway. Or it's just another glitter. I would have glittered anyway. No, it adds up. And so it really did make a difference when I started doing that.
Yeah.
And then with the client burnout, like I just kind of started taking a step back and being like, okay, I have 50 happy. I have 1 unhappy. What's going on here? And then once I kind of had a conversation with her, like, I was like, you know, this just isn't working. Then I felt a lot of relief again.
There's a few things that you can do to get out of a rut. One we've talked about before, I think, is add something new. Like for me, I was tired of French, so I brought on art. Or add a new, if you're doing art, add something new to it. For me in salon, to keep people from getting used to the decoration or getting bored of my salon, or myself getting bored, I seasonally changed out pillows, candles, things like that. Make it a little bit different, and it made me feel better. Like I went in like excited, you know. So that I did that every season. So there's and getting rid of clients that aren't
classes
good for you.
Classes and shows. Like I would come back, even when we would come to mentor training, I would get back in the salon like pumped. It's like when you go to the gym and you get new gym clothes, you're like ready to go to the gym again. You know what I mean?
I've never been like that.
I would say the number one, probably the top culprit of burnout is the fact that you are working a lot and not making money, right? And that you're spinning your wheels. And the first part of building our business, it was working a lot, making nothing, correct? And how burnt out did you feel?
Dude, I lived at home till I was 29.
You still live at home, bro.
Yeah. Imagine going out and meeting a girl and saying, I live at home.
Come over. I live at home.
I couldn't even say that. I was embarrassed.
I know. But can you imagine if, like, you were working a lot, you and mom were cranking hard, not making any money, living at home? Can you imagine if you stopped, though? If you stopped and didn't continue, we wouldn't be here today, right? The business wouldn't be here today.
No.
So it's kind of a testament to, like, even if you're feeling that, you gotta keep going.
For me, burnout usually hits after I get through something. So like if I have a challenge, I'm like push through the challenge, and the minute the challenge is over, I hit this like, that's when I crash. Like I would say like building clientele, pushing through that, and all of a sudden you've done it, and
it's like there's no more challenge.
You hit this wall. All of a sudden, like your body kind of relaxes and your mind just shuts down.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's different levels. There's spinning your wheels. You're not making money. You burn out, or you build a clientele like what you guys were talking about. You build a clientele, and you get to a point where it's like, dude, I got the same clients, same people. You're just in this routine that doesn't stop. You burn out there, where you need to introduce some creativity, change the pillows, all that stuff. What I can say is, I'm burned out from just looking at your guys' faces. I think I'm done, guys.
That's working.
How you feel about that? Anything, guys?